What's going on, RFD gang, and happy holidays. Welcome back to a very special edition of Regester for Dinner. I'm your host, Sebastian Regester, and as mentioned in my previous two videos, this month we're going to be focusing on some of my favorite holiday sweet treats. And in today's video, that's going to be a lime cheesecake, so stay tuned. If you're new to the channel and getting those holiday spirit vibes too, make sure you go ahead and smash that subscribe button down below, hit that little notification bell, and join the RFD gang. Now let's get to making some cheesecake. So some of you guys may be thinking that lime cheesecake really isn't too much of a holiday dessert, but honestly for me it has a very special place in my heart, especially during the holiday season, because it brings me back to when I was a kid and my mom would always make me lime cheesecake on Thanksgiving Day, which truthfully is one of my favorite desserts of all time. So if you're a cheesecake lover just like I am, comment below what your favorite type of cheesecake is. Now without further ado, let's get started with the first step, which is going to be pulverizing 2 cups of graham crackers. Get real angry with it. And if you have any frustrations, but honestly you shouldn't, it's the holiday season, am I right? Just get to beating. And once you get good, you can get a beat going. Cheesecake, cheesecake. Now that I've completely obliterated my graham crackers into a perfect little crumb, it's time to get started making the actual graham cracker crust, which in this case, I'm gonna take half a cup or 1 stick of butter, and it's melted. And I believe I'm using salted butter, but you can use unsalted butter if you'd like. Just gonna mix it all together. And you'll see that the butter really starts forming the graham cracker together, almost making kind of like a dough. And then I'm going to take this spring-form pan that I've already lightly greased with a little bit of cooking spray. I'm gonna go ahead and pour it into the bottom of this pan. And then I'm gonna use my hands actually to kind of help form it down to the bottom of the pan at a nice even layer. And this is gonna be the crust for your cheesecake. It's so good. Just like that. Now that your graham cracker crust is made, I have my oven set over here at 350 degrees. I'm gonna go ahead and cook the crust for 8 to 10 minutes. While your graham cracker crust is cooking in the oven, it's time to get started on your cheesecake filling. So I have a nice KitchenAid mixer here, and I'm going to take 1 cup of ricotta cheese, pour that into the bowl. To that, I'm going to take half a cup of granulated sugar, 1 pack or 8 ounces of softened cream cheese that I probably should have opened in advance. And then I'm going to take the zest of 1 lime. The lime zest is great because that's going to give it a beautiful little green flakes throughout your cheesecake. And I almost forgot, we need half a cup of some milk. I'm using whole milk to be exact. Gonna wanna close the lid to your mixer and then just mix on low starting off until you see everything really mixing well, and then you can crank up the speed. Lime zest really comes through and you can smell it, it's amazing. All right, this is just about done. Maybe do high speed just to get crazy. And perfect. Shut it off. Little taste for good luck. That's already so good. Just add it to a large mixing bowl. Set that aside, and it's time to move on to your next step. All right, guys, your graham cracker crust is ready, and as you can see, it is perfectly golden brown, and honestly, I could eat this right now, but we're gonna have to set this aside and let it cool because we're not done yet. The next step is going to be making the lime gelatin. It's very easy. All it takes is half a cup of some fresh lime juice, put on some medium heat, and then this is a pack of unflavored gelatin. You can pick this up at your local grocery store. It's gonna be found usually in the baking section of your grocery store. So we're just gonna open this up, pour all of the gelatin into the pot, and then using a whisk, just whisk it together until all of the gelatin dissolves. And you don't need to bring this up to like a boiling temperature. You honestly just need to heat it through because that's just gonna help all of the gelatin dissolve into the lime juice. And this is what's gonna get poured into the filling and help it set when you place it into your fridge. Yes, this is an unbaked cheesecake, so pretty unique to the other forms of cheesecake where you know you have to put them into the oven, everything like that. So this is really simple. All right, guys, so after a few minutes of stirring, your gelatin, as you can see, is all dissolved, and now you're starting to get this lime gelatin, but you gotta move fast, so you're gonna pour this into your cheese mixture and whisk it all together until it's all well mixed. All right, once again, you're gonna sit this to the side because now it's time to get started making your homemade whipped cream. The second to final step in making your lime cheesecake is making the whipped cream. This is the easiest thing in the world. All it requires is a cup of heavy whipping cream and a mixing bowl with a whisk attachment. Pour that into the bowl. If you want, you can season it with a little bit of sugar, but there's already enough sugar in my opinion in the filling, but go ahead if you like. And then you're gonna just want to start whisking it. And what the whisk is doing is it's putting air bubbles into your heavy cream, and that's gonna make it really light and fluffy. And you're gonna wanna whisk this until obviously a whipped cream-like texture forms, and you'll really know when it's ready when small little peaks start to form on top of the whipped cream itself. So now I've got it to the perfect consistency that I want it to. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove it from my mixing bowl. Get as much whipped cream as you can. And what we're going to do is we're going to scoop the whipped cream into your cheese mixture with a rubber spatula. Here, I'm sorry if you guys can't see this, but this is kind of difficult doing it from that angle. And let me make sure to get it in the bowl this time. Oh geez. That's all right. We all make mistakes here on Regester for Dinner. And what you're gonna wanna do is start folding the whipped cream into your cheesecake mixture. And the reason being is if you just start mixing it, it's gonna break up all those little beautiful air pockets inside of the whipped cream, and it's not gonna be as fluffy and light as you want it to be when it sets in the fridge. You know, I'm not a baker. You guys know this. I barely do a lot of baking here. It's mainly dishes, side dishes, pickles. And if you haven't seen the pickle video, make sure you click the link up above. Next, what we're gonna do is take the cheesecake mixture, pour it over your graham cracker crust. So, the moment you guys have been waiting for, just pour this in. Be sure not to skimp out on the filling. All right, lick the spoon. Delicious. Using a clean spatula, we're gonna go ahead and start evenly distributing your filling over the top of your graham cracker crust. Try to create as much of a smooth surface as you can. And the beautiful thing is these little ridges, even if it's not the smoothest surface, these little ridges will really help create kind of a beautiful design once it fully sets in the fridge. That is a perfect looking cheesecake that we're gonna set in the fridge for 4 hours. Yes, 4 hours. I know it's a while. I know you guys just want to cut into this thing already and taste it, but we have to make sure that that gelatin sits or sets in the fridge properly. So place it in the fridge and just forget about it for at least 4 hours. Finally guys, the 4 hours is up. It's time to remove the sides of your springform pan and see exactly how your cheesecake turned out. So slowly and ever so gently, lift up the top, and that is a beautiful cheesecake. But we're gonna finish it with some lime slices. Now that is a beautiful lime cheesecake. 4 hours is long enough. It's time to taste this lime cheesecake. Just like I remembered as I was a kid. This is honestly my favorite dessert. But just like that, we're done with yet another episode of Regester for Dinner. And I'm your host, Sebastian Regester. And if you enjoyed today's video and can't wait for us to cook or bake something else up, make sure you smash that like button, comment below, and subscribe. But until next time, stay hungry, my friends.